All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all the way to Staten Island, my home borough, Brooklyn. Back at another video. And today marks the 20th anniversary of the premiere of one of my favorite shows as a kid, and one of the greatest TV shows of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It aired on Nickelodeon between 2005 and 2008. It's about a young boy named Aang who's the Avatar. He has to master all four elements before the end of the summer, so he can take down the Fire Lord. For all you people who watch this show, you know what I'm talking about. I used to love this show, man, during this original run. And for many years, the reruns aired on Nicktoons. I would watch the reruns on Nicktoons all the time. I absolutely loved the show. It was on Netflix for a long time before they took it down. And they put it back on Netflix back in 2020. And ever since then, Avatar: Last Airbenders had a resurgence of pop culture relevance and popularity. I can completely understand why, because it is one of the greatest TV shows ever made. I don't give a shit if it's a little kids cartoon, anime, whatever. The fuck. It's one of the best, well-written shows of all time. Great character development, a very unique world, and I used to love it. Of course, like I said, it's about this young kid here named Aang, and who was the last airbender, the last of his kind. His kind, the air nomads, who were airbenders, of course, they were wiped out and went extinct by Fire Lord Sozin. Because Fire Lord Sozin, for all you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. Fire Lord Sozin, betrayed his best friend Avatar Roku, who was a Fire Nation Avatar. And of course, the show, the Avatar cycle. The next Avatar was going to be an airbender. So Fire Lord Sozin decided to wipe out the airbenders, therefore killing the Avatar. And proceed with his plan for world domination, to have the Fire Nation rule the world. Of course, that started a war that went on for 100 years. Meanwhile, Aang was frozen in an iceberg, him and his flying bison Appa, until they're discovered by Southern Water Tribe siblings Sokka and Katara. Upon waking up, Aang asked Katara, "You want to go penguin sledding with me?" Later on in the pilot episode, we're introduced to Zuko, who's seemingly supposed to be the main villain for the whole show, but we'll get to Zuko in a minute. Zuko's the banished prince of the Fire Nation, and he has to hunt down the Avatar to kidnap him to quote unquote restore his destiny and his honor and get his father's love and acceptance again. And he's accompanied by his uncle Iroh, who was more of a father than his own actual father was. Of course, Zuko reaches the South Pole, the Southern Water Tribe, and Aang fights him off. And sends them on their way. Okay, and later on in the following episode, they go to the Southern Air Temple, and Aang discovers the air nomads went into extinction. He gets angry and goes to the Avatar state. Throughout the entire season, their whole goal is to get to the North Pole to look for Aang, a waterbending teacher. But meanwhile, his waterbending teacher was there all along, Katara. Katara and Aang trained under Master Pakku, who they find at the Northern Water Tribe, until the Northern Water Tribe was invaded by Admiral Zhao, who really was the main villain of season 1. Now in a great season finale. It was like a two-part special, if I remember correctly. After that whole thing is wrapped up, the gang heads off to the Earth Kingdom. That leads us to season 2, where we're introduced to the main villain for season 2, and really throughout the rest of the show, Azula, Princess Azula, who's of course Zuko's younger sister and princess of the Fire Nation. Meanwhile, throughout season 2, Zuko and Iroh, in episode 1 of season 2, Azula tries to kidnap them and arrest them, send back to the Fire Nation as traitors, but they're able to escape. All throughout season 2, Zuko and Iroh are running around the Earth Kingdom trying to get to Ba Sing Se, and Zuko becomes a very confused individual. Zuko's character development is one of the greatest character developments in the history of television. But anyway, in season 2, back to Team Avatar, they meet a 12-year-old blind earthbender named Toph, who joins Team Avatar and becomes Aang's earthbending teacher. They're able to reach Ba Sing Se along with Zuko and Iroh, and again, if you know the show, you know how that ends up. Aang gets Zuko seemingly turned over a new leaf, but when confronted with Azula, he joins Azula, and Azula and Zuko, battle Katara and Aang. Aang enters the Avatar state, and then Azula strikes him down with lightning. Aang is seemingly dead, and the Fire Nation were able to take Ba Sing Se and seemingly win the war. Like I said, Zuko's character development, he starts out as the angry ponytail jerk who's trying to hunt down Aang because it's his destiny to a long haired, even-tempered individual. That's thanks partly to his Uncle Iroh and the experiences throughout season 2. Like I love Zuko's character development. Zuko was, other than Aang, Zuko was probably my favorite character as a kid watching the show. Very, very interesting character, well-written character. His development, it's up there. In season 3, of course, in season 3, Zuko ends up joining Team Avatar and has to teach Aang firebending. But in one of the best episodes of the series, or one of my favorite episodes at least, Aang and Zuko journey to find the ancient Sun Warrior so they can learn the real ways of firebending. While they're there, they discover that there are 2 living dragons. And the 2 dragons show Aang and Zuko the true meaning of firebending, because for a long time, Zuko's firebending was fueled by anger and hatred. Once he learns the true meaning of firebending, he can then instruct Aang. Another one of my favorite episodes, and I really love how they did this. For all of season 1, Zuko was hunting down, and of course Admiral Zhao, but Zuko was hunting down Aang, Katara, and Sokka. Toph didn't really have any experiences with Zuko until season 3. So Zuko really had to receive the forgiveness of Aang, Katara, and Sokka. So for 3 episodes in a row, they had, as Toph put it, Aang, Sokka, and Katara go on life-changing field trips with Zuko. Of course, the first being Aang and Zuko look for the original Firebending Masters, which is one of my favorite episodes. And then the next episode, the Boiling Rock, Zuko and Sokka go look for Sokka's father and the Fire Nation president known as the Boiling Rock. And then the next episode, Katara, because Katara at the end of season 2, she was the first one willing to trust Zuko and forgive him, but then Zuko betrayed them, obviously. So she has a lot of hatred and anger towards Zuko. Zuko helps her find out the man who killed her mother. Katara was hell bent on killing him, but she didn't do it at the end. And then she forgives Zuko. So they can all finally officially put their issues behind them. I really love how they did that. Again, very well written show. The series finale of Avatar: Last Airbender, Sozin's Comet, which was like a 4-part special, one of the greatest series finales in the history of television. I don't care. Cartoon, anime, sitcom, drama, whatever. This is one of the absolute greatest series finales in the history of television. It wrapped everything up. Everybody grew from the first time we were introduced to them to this episode. It was so spectacular. Zuko and Katara go to take on Azula, battle Azula in a final Agni Kai. Zuko's about to get crowned Fire Lord, and Ozai wants to be the new ruler of the world as the Phoenix King, so on and so forth. And of course, Aang doesn't want to kill Ozai, but he ends up finding another way to take down Ozai. And Sokka, his girlfriend Suki, who were introduced in season 1, episode 4, the Kyoshi Warriors, and then Toph, they try to stop the Fire Nation fleet from burning down the Earth Kingdom. Aang's trying to taking down Ozai. It's probably my favorite battle my favorite fight in the entire series. And Aang, of course, in the Avatar state, he damn near killed Ozai, but he's able to get back into his senses. He's able to restrain Ozai through the earth, and he takes Ozai's bending away. So he'll never hurt anybody again. A fate worse than death, and Ozai is somebody who was a power-hungry maniac, and a fate worse than death is losing your power, which was his firebending. In the final scene of the show, as you can see, Aang and Katara, and of course, Aang and Katara had kissed throughout. They had kissed a few times prior to this, but this sealed the deal. Aang was in love with Katara. Katara finally fell in love, truly in love with Aang. They kissed and embraced. The camera pans up to the sun and says, "The end." Thus ending one of the greatest television shows ever made. So, like I said, loved Avatar: Last Airbender growing up. As a kid, I loved that it had a pop culture resurgence when they uploaded it back to Netflix in 2020. My favorite episodes, I think the Siege of the North, which was the season 1 finale. I really loved the Tales of Ba Sing Se. I loved the Boiling Rock 2-part episode, the series finale. I loved the Firebending Masters, the season 2 finale. Like I said, very well written show. Like, there aren't that many episodes that are skippable. I don't think any episode on the show was skippable, to be honest with you. They were all great. They had their comedic moments, they had their serious moments, the romantic moments. They're just very great show. Aang went from this goofy kid to a wise, powerful Avatar. Sokka went from a goofy teenager who was a ladies' man to a great leader and a general almost. The Toph got stronger, Katara got stronger. Zuko went from a hot-headed jerk to an even-tempered, wise Fire Lord. Great character development. Well, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. What are your favorite episodes? Is this one of the greatest TV shows ever made to you? Is this the best Nickelodeon series of all time? If you're my age, I'm sure you know that's debatable. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe. How Young Brother Grow on YouTube. See y'all.